There's really, when you think about it, there's really three of my top things that I always look for in every single .NET project that I'm on when I want to improve the performance. The first, are you doing queries inside of loops? If you are, then you get into big O of N territory, you start hitting the database over and over and over again. And a lot of developers treat the database as a next door neighbor, when honestly, you should be really thinking about it as a long distance phone call. I might be dating myself with that reference, but that's okay. Every time you go outside of the process, every time you do an RPC, that is a non-trivial amount of expense that you are incurring in compute time, in network time. And if you're constantly going back and forth, chatting with the database, that is so much less efficient than just simply doing one query against the database with all of your IDs in there and giving it time to process that, to get it back to you. You put it into a dictionary, and then you process it later inside the for loop. So when I'm doing code reviews, all the developers that work with me, all the architects that work with me know this, that is like my pet peeve, is to never do queries inside of loops. This applies for .NET, it applies for Java. You can try to make your code more modular by doing that, but you end up paying the penalty for it in terms of performance. The second issue that I normally look at when I'm on a project is how they're doing their logging. There's some logging libraries that do synchronous logging, and especially if it's writing to the file system, I've actually had production issues occur. I've had entire APIs go down because someone was just hammering the file system, writing these logs to it, and it was spending more time writing logs than it actually was doing any relevant work in the application. So make sure your logging is asynchronous. Don't do logging yourself. That's my third recommendation. There are tools out there to do it. There's App Insights, there's Google App Engine. All of these will batch up your logs for you. They will ship it off in the background. And of course, there will be a delay. There may be some sampling. But at the end of the day, your users don't care if the logs get there or if they get lost in translation. They want their application to be fast. They want their application to be snappy. If you're not using application performance monitoring tools to just make sure that this is even happening in general, if this is not part of your culture, if this is not endemic to being a software developer, getting an application performance monitoring tool will set you at least a standard deviation ahead of where your performance is today.